everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah Pavan. I'm an Olympian and beach volleyball world champion and a longtime professional indoor player. Okay, decided to do something a little bit different today. And honestly, I didn't really know how to title it, so I went with fan fiction. Judging by some of the comments I'm reading, everyone's a little bit nervous about what this will entail. We're staying PG. Is it fan fiction? I don't know. I just didn't know what term to use. So we are doing like scenarios from Haikyuu that didn't happen, but are like hypotheticals. And you guys submitted some very good scenarios that got me thinking. I tried not to think about it too much, so that you could get like my organic reaction to these, but I had to prepare a little bit. So yeah, hang with me. I'm actually curious to see what you guys are going to say throughout all of this. But above all, please, in the comment section, be respectful. No spoilers. We're trying to keep it to season 1 and 2 because we're like not even halfway through season 3 yet. So we're keeping this to season 1 and 2. No spoilers. I will love you if you keep it to things I know so far. So thank you. But let's get started. So I picked some of my favorite suggestions. You guys, I think we have some Filipinos in the house. Yes, I'm wearing a Manila sweatshirt. It's actually from the Thrilla in Manila, Ali Fraser. See, woo. Okay. Anyways, I love it. So question 1, let's get thinking here. What if Hinata had attended a good junior high school? Okay. I think if Hinata was sent to a good school, he would have like learned the skills. Okay. He would have learned the basics. So maybe this means that he would have learned how to serve well, pass, ball control. I think those things would have been much better. So I don't think he would have ended up being a middle blocker. I think he probably would have ended up as an outside hitter, or even based on his size, I feel like he would have been a libero. I think, like some of you are saying in the comment right now, in the chat right now, yes, his basics would have been solid. So I feel like he would have been a libero or an outside hitter, which would, I don't know. I don't think he would have ended up at Karasuno, really, because at this time, Karasuno is like the fallen crows. They haven't had success for a while. So I feel like with those basics, he would have been sent to like a better school. But his academics are really bad. So that also would have limited things. So somebody's going to have to help me out. Like, what are the schools where the admission requirements are not super high? Maybe he would have ended up at Karasuno anyways. But I think his position would have been much different. But building on that, what if he had attended Kitagawa Daichi with Kageyama? I think that relationship would have ended up fractured and just not good. So since none of the Kitagawa Daichi players ended up going to Karasuno, like Kageyama was kind of shunned both for his academic standards and he just didn't get along with anybody. So I don't think he would have ended up at the same school. So that bars Karasuno. Answered my own question. But I think that he would have had a very similar reaction as Kindaichi to Kageyama, just like trauma almost. So if I'm answering question 1, okay, Jozenji, Date Tech, yes, I'm loving your guys' thoughts on this. I feel like that's kind of where he would have ended up. Maybe Karasuno, if he hadn't gone to junior high with Kageyama. If he did go to junior high with Kageyama, I think Karasuno would have been out for sure. So I think overall, my answer to this question is he would have been an outside hitter or libero at Date Tech or Josenji, which also fits because the liberos from those schools aren't like super standout liberos, and the outsides also are like medium. So I really liked this question. But this moves into another question, which I feel like this one is an obvious one, an obvious answer, but maybe not. Maybe you guys will have a different thought than me. What if Takeda hadn't been assigned as the faculty advisor for the volleyball team? I think the obvious answer is we would not have seen the growth that we did in season 2. I think so much of, Karasuno's development in season 2 and then ultimately beating Seijo at the end of that season came from the things that they learned in the Tokyo training camps. They were able to pull the pieces from the different teams that they really liked, as far as running the combo plays. Hinata learned so much from Bokuto. Tsukushima learned so much. Noya's jump setting. Yeah, so many tiny pieces would not have been incorporated into Karasuno's like team identity throughout season 2. So I think we would have kind of seen them floundering. So basically, obviously, if Takeda wasn't assigned, some other teacher or faculty advisor would have been on. We're assuming that Karasuno still would have been a team. But I'm just thinking about Takeda's, dedication, his, creating so many practice matches. He, really wanted to fundraise. He was going to pay for the bus and everything to go to Tokyo by himself. This comment is actually key. They wouldn't have gotten Ukai. Yes, Takeda also brought young Ukai into the group and onto the team. So we would have been missing so many important parts. So I think we would have still seen Karasuno, in their like bad years. I think we would have just continued to see that kind of like, lack of motivation, lack of drive. So Takeda has always been an MVP for me. I love him. If I could, maybe I should create a coaching staff love house because like he would have the penthouse suite. Okay. Takeda's the best. His amazing way of like talking to the athletes. He's like a poet, so inspirational, but also just like his love for the boys and his desire for them to like get better and for Karasuno to get better. We would not be seeing this happening. So we would have seen like beginning of season 1 Karasuno if Takeda had not been assigned to the team. I think that was a very straightforward answer. I'm trying to read your guys' comments as I do this. I'm obviously not doing an amazing job, but like, okay. This spitball, I love you. Oh shoot, wrong one. Nope, wrong one. Nakoma is the bartender for the coaching staff love house. Yes. Dude loves to drink. He loves to throw down a few cocktails. Not cocktails, you know what I mean? It's like soju. No. What is the Japanese one? Sake. Soju's Korean. Any Koreans in the house? Love ya. So yes. Okay, you know what? I think this is going to be the next live stream is the coaching staff love house. You know who won't be in that? The coach from Shiratorizawa. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I said season 1 and 2. I'm breaking my own rules. Sorry. Also, the sun is setting like on my face. So this is great. Okay, there are a couple like tough ones, like this one. What if Daichi had never kicked Hinata and Kageyama out of the gym at the beginning of season 1? I feel like this can go so many directions, you guys. Um, okay. So if we're thinking about this, they were being very competitive with each other. They were not being productive, creating a lot of disruption in the gym, and Daichi kicked them out to figure their stuff out. And during that, I remember Kageyama took Hinata outside, kind of was like trying to teach him how to pass, and things like that. But then they came together and they're like, we have to get along so that we're just allowed in the gym. So I feel like that was a good turning point, like the beginning of a turning point. They didn't necessarily like each other, but you guys, this is a really good question. I really feel like they would have continued to act up. Holy crap, this sun. They would have continued to act up. They would have torn the team apart because the whole practices would have been, trying to get Kageyama and Hinata to like get along. It just wouldn't have been a productive team environment, honestly. I think, somebody said it, that is how Daichi got into my love house, by like being a leader, taking a stand and being like, that's not what we do here. So here we go. So I think that kind of was like, okay, we are first years. We need to like get some respect. We're part of a team. We are no longer individuals. So yeah, they had to know their place. They had to understand like volleyball is a team sport, a 6-person sport, and like you can't do this. And then they also played the 3-on-3 match, and Tanaka ended up on their team. So I think like the Tanaka vibes kind of started with that whole scenario, which I feel like he's probably a really tough nut to crack. He is like, he loves so hard and so deeply, but I think that without being paired with them as the punishment for the 3-on-3 match, that kind of dynamic would have been slower. And I think overall, the Kageyama Hinata dynamic would have been much slower to develop. That was more of like a hypothetical question that was tough for me, but I got there. Okay, I am sorry. I'm trying to like avoid the sun. We'll see what happens. This one was interesting to me. Okay, I'm just going to keep dodging it. Which 2 players will go on to play beach volleyball? This one. Okay, my first thought, and I kind of hate myself for saying this because you guys know my thoughts about this person. Do you know who I'm going to say? I'm going to say Oikawa. Okay, why? He is like a very all-around skilled athlete, which you need for beach volleyball. Your skills will be like very important. Like the full skill set is needed. We know he can attack. Obviously, he can set. He plays defense. He can serve. He just kind of like has the whole package, even though he is a setter. He can do it all. But also, the thing that I appreciate most about him is his intelligence. He's a very smart player. He can analyze the game. He knows like the moves to make. So I think he's just the full package. I think that he would make a great beach volleyball athlete. And then my second one, this was tough because my initial thought was to take Tsukishima just for his brains. But then I'm like, okay, like his ball control is not great. Like he's a middle blocker. It's like, so I'm not going to put him. I think another good option would be like a Tanaka. Because again, outside hitters are usually very well-rounded. He's got that like ferocity and that attitude and that swagger that I love. Iwazumi would be another good one. Who else? Season 1 and 2. Daichi, smart. Inoshita. Okay, I know it said 2. Okay, I need to pick one. So, number 1, Oikawa. Hands down. Number 2. Ugh. Okay, who do you think is better overall between Asahi and Tanaka? Oh, you know who else would be really good? Nakashima. Yes. He would be so quick defensively, but he's very good offensively. Okay, that's it. It's final. My okay, I'm reading. Everybody's saying Asahi. Okay. Anyways, my beach volleyball team is going to be Oikawa and Nakashima. Is that okay? Or Asahi. Because Asahi is very good defensively too. Oh, gosh, this is hard. I'm very stressed out about this. Okay. Oikawa, Asahi, final answer. That's my beach volleyball team. Don't hate me. Okay, next question. Which player would transfer into Karasuno to make the team stronger, and who would he replace? This one was so tough that I actually did have to spend some time thinking about this. And season 1 and 2 only, okay? I keep saying that. I keep reminding myself. So, do you know who I'm going to say? You don't know who I'm going to say. Nakashima is going to replace Daichi. I kind of want to see. Yes, Juju, it is your question. It was good. Okay, to be fair, okay, here's what happened. Juju sent me this question, okay? And they said, you can't use my answer, okay? And so they said, Bokuto would replace Asahi. Okay? So Juju asked this question, says, my answer is Bokuto would replace Asahi. You can't use my answer, though. Killing me here, okay? Hanging me out to dry. So, options were limited. The reason I said Nakashima, for those who need a refresher, Nakashima is the outside hitter who is a lot like the little giant from Wakunan. He used the block a lot. He had very good ball control, good spin serve. His whole family was in the stands cheering for him. So the reason I say that I would replace Daichi, you guys, you know how much that hurts me, okay? The reason I would replace Daichi is because he is the least offensive of the outside hitters. He brings leadership. He brings good like ball control, serve, receive, defense. But I would say that his weakness is his offense. So Nakashima, a very equal replacement, I would say, for the ball control. He is really good at serve receive. He is good at defense. I think we're going to get more from him serving, and we're for sure going to get more from him offensively, attacking wise. So that was why I said that. I'm just reading your guys' comments, and You have to take this up with Juju. Okay? You can talk to them about this. Yes. Why did they pick Bokuto to replace Asahi instead of Tanaka? Great question. Maybe that is something that I will find out later. I don't know. But I really feel like I should get some love right now on my pick because I think it was very well thought out. And as much as it hurts my first Love House member to be replaced, it's not personal. It's not personal at all, okay? That's all. That was a tough one. That one hurt me. Okay, this one. Which two characters would form a relationship? And the reason it says unexpected is because this question asker said aside from the normal. So like the Mishimiya Daichi, the Yachi Tsukushima or Yachi Hinata or Hinata Kageyama or Kyoko Tanaka, Kyoko Noya. So aside from those ones, okay, so the one that I picked and that I'm thinking, okay, I don't know if this has been discussed before. You guys are like in the fandom way deeper than I am. Although I feel like I will be right in there with you soon enough. I actually love the Yachi Kyoko idea. I just read that comment and I kind of felt those vibes, honestly. Season 2, episode 2, season 2, episode 3, Townsperson B, when Yachi was kind of coming in to the group. I kind of felt those vibes from her towards Kyoko. But also Kenma Kuro. Is that a thing? Am I making that up on my own? Am I way off base? I don't know. I feel these vibes between Kenma and Kuro. They say that they're like friends. Kuro got Kenma into volleyball. They just have this like connection that I feel. And I'm here for it. Don't get me wrong. I love that. But that was the one that immediately jumped to mind. And then, yes, the Yachi Kyoko also jumped into my mind. I feel like I could really overanalyze this and come up with like a dozen dream couples. I'm like really thinking hard. Maybe I should make another video about that. Okay. You know what? We're going to leave this here for now. We're going to table this discussion. We're going to come back to this in another live stream. And I need you guys, don't worry. I'll ask you about it. I'll ask for your opinions and I will analyze each one to pieces, okay? But right now, I'm going to stick with Yachi Kyoko and Kenma Kuro. Those probably aren't unexpected, but I love that. I love it so much. Okay, this one is tricky. What if the Karasuno third years left after the season 1 loss to Seijo? First of all, we're not even going... We can't even entertain that thought, okay? I feel like that is a betrayal on the same level as me replacing Daichi, okay? But for the purpose of the video, let's talk about it, okay? Let's come back to this because I just saw a comment come up. Okay. I love this. Would Karasuno still be as dominant if Asahi never gave volleyball a second chance? And Oshita would have had to replace him. Right? Who else do they have? Inoshita doesn't have a spin serve. Inoshita wouldn't have developed a spin serve like Asahi. Inoshita doesn't swing as well as Asahi. I don't know. No, my answer is no. It would not have been the same. Season 2 would not have been the same if Asahi didn't give volleyball a second chance. And let me tell you another reason why, aside from the on-court stuff, is that there is that like iron wall, that like shared trauma that they have from the Dateko match the year before, where Asahi could not get through the block. Suga took responsibility. Noya took responsibility. And just like that shared trauma created so much extra like team chemistry and motivation. And so when he came back, they were able to rally around him so much more. So it served him coming back served a bigger purpose for the team than just the on-court stuff. Okay, it was like a team morale thing too, because everybody wanted to be better for him and for each other because of that shared trauma that they had in that match. So no, Asahi needed to be there. So then moving into this next part of the question that I tried to avoid for a few minutes, what if the Karasuno third years left after the season 1 loss? No, nothing. Nothing would have happened. Okay? Who do we lose? Suga, Asahi, and Daichi. Who is going to play? What is that character who I didn't even know he was on the team until season 2? Not Inoshita, the other guy. Those two would be starting. Like, and then Suga's pinch serving wouldn't be there. We wouldn't have the Suga pinch serve, then come into set. Kageyama can swing in the front row. Limited options. So what would have happened? They would have had to go recruit some 7th graders to come and play because it wouldn't have worked. Okay. That came out way more aggressive than I intended. I was just, very passionate about that. And just the thought of those third years leaving just like really breaks my heart. So I got very aggressive in how I explained it. So excellent question. I loved it, but like, let's not think about that. Okay, this is my last one that I have planned. What if Nakoma was also in Karasunos Prefecture? And how would the season 1 and 2 tournaments have played out? This one is like, okay, first of all, Narita. There we go. His name is Narita. We don't even know what position he plays. Okay. I feel like if Nakoma was in this, it would have changed the rankings. So I'm going to have to kind of make up who I think the matchups would have been. So in season 1, we had Karasuno play Dateko, and then Seijo. Who did they beat to advance? I'm not even sure I know. So let's just assume that it was Seijo Nakoma and Dateko Karasuno. So that would have like moved forward. Karasuno would have moved forward that way. Then we would have had Seijo against Nakoma. I'm not sure I know. I don't even know who would have won that game. Nakoma's libero is better. We've got Nakoma's middle blockers are better. We've got, I think Oikawa's better than Kenma. So it would come down really, I think, to the outsides. And we got like Yamamoto for Nakoma. I think Seijo still would have won. I think it would have been a Seijo I think it still would have been a Seijo Karasuno matchup. We are not talking about Shiratorizawa here because I am forgetting Shiratorizawa. But Shiratorizawa wasn't in season 1 at all, right? Okay. Season 2, we've got, who did we have? We had Datako play Seijo, and then we had Karasuno play Wakunon. And then, so I think it's fair to say that Karasuno would have ended up matching up with Nakoma. Oh, man. Let's just assume that, like, Shiratorizawa is the end. The end, okay? So if we're looking at the teams that are competing to play Shiratorizawa, then, so it played out, Seijo beat Datako. So who would win between Karasuno and Nakoma? If we're looking at the training camp arc, then we have to say that Nakoma would win. And then Nakoma would then play Seijo and Seijo would win. I think that the only thing that would have changed is that Seijo would have been playing Shiratorizawa in the final again. Is that fair to say? I just want to answer this question. Thank you, Rodrigo, for your super chat. You're the best. Not starting 7, but what would be your whole team? Oh, what? And what kind of synergies would you use between them? Oh my gosh. This is hard, you guys. If I'm only doing season 1 and season 2, okay, we know who my starting, based on the last video, the video I posted about it. We've got Oikawa's the setter. Who did I have? Somebody help me with who I had. I had Bokuto. I had Iwazumi, or did I have Asahi? No. I had Oikawa, Kageyama. I had Kuro, obvi. I had Aoni, Bokuto, Noya, Asahi. Okay, so those are the 7. And then if I'm adding to that, okay. I remember that I really wanted Nakashima to be on it. Nakashima would be there too. Oh man, middles. I mean, Hinata. No. Yes, I smiled after Kuro because I'm in love with him. Okay, that is why I smiled. Yes, and I'm obsessed with Nakashima too, clearly. Iwazumi. Okay, yes, Iwazumi. Outsides, Bokuto, Asahi, Iwazumi. Okay, done. Liberos, Noya, and the Nakoma libero, whatever his name was again. Middles, Kuro, Aoni. Hinata. Ooh, Lev. No, not Lev. Lev. This is hard, you guys. I'm gonna break out soon. Oikawa, Kageyama, and you know what? I don't like him at all, but let's just add some extra firepower. Mad Dog. I don't like him. Okay? Oh no, we need Daichi on the team to like calm people down. I need to make a video about this, okay? I need to make a video about this. I'm going to keep doing this for every season. So like, don't worry. These scenarios at the end of every season are going to get crazy. Okay. You guys are amazing. I'm reading some comments. I don't even remember who Fudakuchi is. Who would my coach be? And my assistant coach? Nekomata and Ukai. Absolutely. And also Grandpa Ukai for good measure, because I think that he is great. Okay. You asked some very challenging questions. I'm actually very happy that you guys kept your questions PG. We have some new. Takeda's not a coach. He is the staff member. He can be a staff member. I keep thinking about Grandpa Ukai. Oh my gosh. Okay. I need to take some deep breaths. We have some new ideas for live streams after this. The relationship one, who would be on the teams. You know what? We've got this. You guys, thank you so much for submitting your questions. I am going to get on my next reaction videos. I've been traveling, so thank you for hanging with me on that. But yeah, anytime, I would love to hear your guys' ideas for future live streams, because like coming up with thinking about these hypothetical situations is so fun, and I could honestly talk about it forever. Okay? If you don't believe that I am obsessed with Haikyuu, think again. Okay? But thank you so much to all of you who submitted questions and scenarios. You really got me thinking. Thank you so much, Spitball, for modding as always. And you guys are so great in the chat. I try to keep up, but you guys are amazing. So thank you. I will see you soon, and stay tuned for a reaction video. I promise it will be coming soon. Love you guys. Have a good one.